Hey there, it's BoardGameDave. Today we're looking at Concordia Solitaria and everything that's packed inside this small box. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Dave, come on, how much could they possibly fit inside a box this tiny? Well, you know what they say, the best expansions come in small packages, and that's definitely the case here. There's so much to explore inside this box. There's the first ever solo mode for Concordia, which introduces a solo AI named Contrarius. There's a co-op mode where two players can work together to team up against Contrarius, and Contrarius can even be used as a dummy third player in a competitive two-player game. Each mode uses its own set of cards, and Contrarius is extremely easy to implement and manage no matter which mode you're using him for. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at how Contrarius works, and spoiler alert, I think this is genius. So after I take my action, Contrarius takes its reaction, whatever's in that C box. That's it, it's that simple. So let's say I architect, and then Contrarius is going to roll the blue die and take the corresponding card from the market. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes this card into its face-up supply. Easy. Next, Prefect. Of course, I can activate one province, get some resources, and then Contrarius is going to get 1 point for each house in that province with a minimum of 1. Peasy, right? I could also, of course, flip over all the bonus tokens and take the coins, in which case Contrarius gets 2 points. Squeezy. Next, Senator. I buy up to 2 cards, and then Contrarius is going to build one house based on this white die. Let's say he rolls S. S means he's going to build a house in a city of his best specialist, which right now, let's say he's got the farmer. So he wants to build in a food city. Now, ideally he wants, well, it has to be within reach. Ideally he wants an empty city, and then ideally a province that he's not already in, and then if there's still a tie, it breaks alphabetically. So we're looking for a food city, and I think there's only one left that's open, Aquilia, right? He can get there, one space, and plops a house down like so. Wheezy. Next, we're looking at the Mercator. I do a little bit of trading, of course, and then Contrarius, same idea here, is going to build a house using the black die and then produce in that province. So he rolls this die. Let's say he gets tools. So now he's looking for an empty tool, right? And in a province that he's not already in. So there is one here, but he's already in that province. So he'd rather go to this open tool space. He travels. Actually, he'll sail over here because it's a little bit shorter and drop a house right there in Cosa. Then that province produces, so I would get a tool. He doesn't get any resources, right? Really nice, queasy. Last, I tribune, I take back my cards, all that good stuff. Now, Contrarius does a couple things. He builds one house for his best specialist, which again is the farmer. If he can't build in food, he'll build in brick, right? And then he's gonna roll the red die and either take one colonist or one card. So we roll, okay? And he puts a land colonist out in Roma. G-easy, that's all there is to it. In the solo mode, you play an action and then Contrarius takes a reaction. It's really that simple. If you want to watch a full solo playthrough, I posted one last week, you can check it out right there. In the co-op mode, 2 players are working together to each get as high a score as they can because the final score will be the average of their 2 individual scores. The gameplay here is very different from the base game in that when one player plays an action, both players get to take that action before Contrarius takes his reaction. In order to maximize player turns, a lot of communication and cooperation has to happen between the players, which is exactly what you want in a co-op game. You aren't allowed to share resources, but you can freely exchange money between the 2 players, which helps when you're in a financial pinch. The co-op mode also includes a special Legatus card, which is basically a request for your partner to play one of their cards in case you don't have that card in your hand, for example. It also includes the Venus scoring criteria, which looks for provinces in which you and your partner have a house. Contrarius can also be used to simulate a third player in a competitive 2-player game. For this mode, the first player uses a standard starting deck from the base game, and the second player uses the turquoise deck from Solitaria. The first player takes a normal turn, then the second player takes their turn, and then Contrarius reacts based on that second player's card. Contrarius will never react to the first player's action, so the turn order always stays the same. Otherwise, the game plays as usual, and Hannah and I found Contrarius to be a formidable opponent in this mode. I really enjoyed using Contrarius as a third player to make that 2-player experience on the Italia board a lot tighter and more competitive without adding a lot of time and hassle. As for replayability, beyond the variability already baked into the base game, Contrarius always has 3 different difficulty modes that you can choose from, and there's even a sort of campaign mode where you gradually chip away at your 20-point lead before moving into the veteran and expert difficulties. And that's Concordia Solitaria. In the comments, let me know what your favorite solo mode is, and in the meantime, have a wonderful week, take care, and happy gaming. Bye! 1 point per house in that province with a minimum of 1. Pleasy. I could take the coins instead, flip them back over. Contrarius gets 2 points. Pleasy. 1 point for each house in that province. Pleasey.